Okay, let's start. I'm going to start this town hall officially by talking about the the announcement that was made last night. So if you didn't get to read the announcement, don't worry. I'm going to read it for you. Late night ping, blah, blah, blah. Vehicle chase rules. All chases must last a minimum of 15 minutes before any swaps, blocks, or jumps are allowed. I actually will read this on the internet. Discord.com. Open Discord. That way I can have chat up. James, the question is not what you did, but what you didn't do. Oh, fuck. Wrong one. Announcements. There we go. Okay, so vehicle chase rules. All chases must last a minimum of 15 minutes before any swaps, blocks, or jumps are allowed, unless the police have attempted a pit box spike, blah, 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 maneuver on the car. Once this occurs, the only exception to the rule above. Any of these actions taken before the specific time meeting will result in fail RP. That has always been a thing, by the way. That's just vehicle edit. We've always said is that first 15 minutes. Blocks may only occur if Air 1's in the air. Yeah. You know, everyone says no Air 1. They don't want the Air 1. So we're limiting the cops and what they can do. So it's only fair that you guys get limited on what you can do if you're going to nerf the cops. At the end of the day, a cop can do the perfect world's greatest pit, like the one that I did on James. If James probably remembers, I did the greatest pit ever on his tractor with a go-kart car. Still one of the greatest pits of all time. Like, but the cars don't stop. Y'all just keep driving, right? So a block is one of the biggest tools that a crim has. It's only fair that the cops have all their tools to respond. Just is what it is. So if you want to do blocks, have Air 1. Also, vehicle blocks in a tunnel is dog shit. I don't know how else to say it. It's so lame. And it's gonna lead to immediate fail RP strike if it happens. It is the most W thing. We could actually use it as an example for W moments. You're already in the tunnels. You're already doing, it's already a thing. We don't need some semi trucks in there blocking a tunnel. That's not fun for. I mean, I guess it's fun for y'all, but it's not fun on the cop side. So that's just not gonna be a thing. Swaps. If you plan to do swaps, it's again, this has always been a thing, but if you've got 3 people into your heist and the cops say, hey, are we expecting any other people? Be courteous, let them know. Like that red garage swap where you fucking get out and run up and then like, come on, like role play. It's not about cops and robbers chasing for the win. It's about the RP. So if you're gonna do a vehicle swap, at least be courteous and say, hey, I've got 3 people in the building. There's 4 people a part of this. Fair game. That's fine. If the cops can't figure it out from there, that's on the officers. Like if they can't put 2 and 2 together, it's kind of on them. And yeah, so Plasma, I don't know, like it's still our plan to do more of that realistic vehicle damage.
Yeah. So it's gonna be mainly for like failures. So like if you hit a sick jump and you don't land correctly, or if it's like too much velocity, your tires are pop, or like your fuel tank will take damage.
Or if you go like 200 feet in the air and just do ascendant mode.
Yeah, like if you just do some dumb shit and you fuck it up, like it's gonna punish you. I don't know exactly yet because I haven't looked at it yet, but it'll be a little bit more realistic to what it is now. Nothing too crazy though.
Yeah, Moxie. Yes, is the simple answer to that is yes. Bam. Yeah, probably. I mean, if you're not active, there's no way to give a job. Bet my brain's gonna F me on vehicle damage. Adaria, probably. So Sheen says, every time I've asked if there's Air 1, they decline to answer. So how will we know how high it goes up? Also, if the cops overturn and are on their backs, are they supposed to just turn the car over and rejoin the chase? I'm gonna let you answer that one.
Every time I've asked if there's Air 1, they decline to answer. So how will we know as... What did you talk about when you're saying how high?
We've seen that Air 1 is required for a block.
Oh, I see. He has a good point. I mean, because the Air 1 pilots are taught to not be in sight. Like, the whole point is so they're really high in the air so you can't really see them unless you, like, look directly above.
I guess it's like this, Shing. If you say no Air 1 and then you're starting and then you do a block within 5 minutes, that's a problem. In terms of Air 1 not being in sight, then I think it's the cops can just make it vague, you know?
Wait, hold on. Adaria, no. Cops cannot bluff demands. Whatever is agreed is agreed.
Yeah, that's a big thing too. Because I actually no. Cops cannot bluff or lie. That's a thing too that every crim needs to understand. Because it kind of goes by. I would like for you guys to give up the hostage. Like give up the hostage kind of quickly if you can. Just know that when you set your terms, like this is so important. When you set your terms and the cops say, yes, I agree to those terms, it is government mandated that they agree to those terms. So if you say, remember safe passage and that's assumed, right? Like you're going to be able to leave the scene safely. And then you say safe passage, no Air 1. And that's agreed upon. Cool. There's no reason to keep the hostage inside the building. Let them come out, release them, let them get their hostage RP in process and moved on, just to help the flow of things. If an officer ever goes back on a previously agreed upon promise for whatever reason, that's fail RP on the cop. Because it's super easy for cops to power game if they just fucking lie to you, right? But Shing, that brings up a good point. I think the officers, it might be fair for them to say like, I think you just kind of gotta.
Honestly, bro, the moral of the story is if you're gonna do dumb shit, give the cops a chase before you do it. Like, just don't be an asshole.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to say it. Yeah, so if y'all didn't know too, EMS are going to start arriving on the hostage scene. So let the guy go. Like you have your hostage, you negotiate, you know what you're going to do. Let him go. That way the EMS can, get him sorted and get the things moved along. Okay, that's before we get into questions, Plasma, I'm going to give you the floor for a minute to talk about the current update that they have coming up. If you want to talk about it for a couple minutes.
Nice blindside, brother. Hold on.
I forgot to mention that to you. We don't. Yeah, I mean.
All right, so here the changelog. Like I'm gonna go through and like I'll actually describe it in detail, but just to give you guys like an idea of what to expect. So the inventory, brand new inventory. Obviously, all your items are being moved over, so don't worry about that. But there's a lot. The interaction is a lot different. So just remember there is an info tab in the bottom right for the new shortcuts. So you're not going to see a use button in the middle. You're not going to see a give. Okay. So just right click the items, kind of get familiar with it. There is an info tab in the bottom right. So take a look at that. Let's see. So it's not fully set up yet, but item drops are going to be much more immersive. So if you drop like a gun, for example, you'll actually see the gun on the ground. And then if you add more items to the drop, it's going to turn into a bag. Let's see, new target. So the third eye. Your third eye is going to be a little bit different. So currently it is right click, I believe, right? Right click to enable the mouse. Yeah.
Currently, yeah.
Now it's left click. So you third eye and then you hit left click and then it kind of brings up your cursor. It'll be very like new. It's going to be annoying to begin with, but to be honest, it's much better. Like I would hop on main yesterday and I'm like, damn, this kind of sucks. Let's see. Let me go back.
Also, don't expect the changelog immediately.
Yeah, it's gonna take me a minute.
It's a fucking book. I mean, this is.
I'm gonna like add tooltips in there, like super describe like what changed. So it's gonna take a minute because I'm still working on the other shit too.
It's the largest update that we've ever released in terms of just Yeah, like it's huge.
I mean, y'all see that screenshot in Campfire earlier, like, what's it
To be
called?
honest,
there was like 5,000
Plasma,
change
which
files.
we should probably do is write the changelog on the website and just put a link to the fucking on the Discord to the website.
That. All right,
it's
to keep going though.
Give me too much.
All the legal jobs, we have some new legal jobs. So we have a new electrician job, a new construction
Don't mention that
job.
Yet. Sorry. Move past.
Okay, I'm not going to talk about the legal jobs. We're going to move on.
That's a different question I'm going to answer. My bad.
All right, businesses, food items. This is a big one. Okay, so all businesses, business owners, you guys already know. So anyway, all business owners are able to create their own recipes, right? So all food is like based off the recipes the owners make. You can make any food item, any image, any name, any ingredient. It's all fully custom to the business now. There's also like a DUI screen. So that means like a burger shop, for example, the menu like behind the cashiers, they can actually set like an image there, like custom image. Obviously, we already told you guys this. I'm pretty sure, at least. All food is being wiped. Again, all food is being wiped. Yes, you're welcome. Unavoidable because of the new food items. Yeah, Buford's gonna be mad. Whoever owns Burger Shot, Lily, you might have to give him a coupon, man. He's gonna be upset. Okay.
Yo, if somebody spent $250K in food, right? I'm glad I wiped it. The fuck?
Are you gonna talk about fuel separately, or am I talking about that a little bit?
No, you don't need to get into any intricate. So fuel businesses, things like that. I'll talk about those here in a minute.
Fuel. Okay, so yeah, there's a brand new fuel. I'm not gonna go into it. Just very basic. There's gonna be different fuel types. You're gonna have to mine for your own oil, ownable businesses, the whole nine. We'll get into that in a minute. Vehicle keys are different now, so your keybind is going to change, obviously. So if you had a custom keybind, you're going to change it again. It'll be under renewed vehicle keys. Also, it's based off where you're looking now, not by distance. So you have to look at your car when you hit the button. The distance is a lot further, so you can unlock your car from a lot farther away. But you have to be looking at the car. It's based off raycasting. Let's see.
I believe the keys are going to be as items now. Is that correct?
No items.
No items. Cool.
I don't know if we did this yet. I believe we did. I think Carbon did. But the F1, like the give key in there is just going to be closest player. And then we'll add a slash give key command that takes an ID too. So you can give somebody, if like you're in a car with a bunch of people. Let's see. The laptop. So for you crims, the laptop is completely changing. Everything about it is changing. The UI is brand new. There's a lot more features. All the UI pages are refreshed. The scripts themselves, like the actual actions, I believe are pretty similar. Like I know there's racing crews now. This will all come in the changelog. I'd have to look again, but the whole laptop is also changing. And then EMS. For those who have access to the sneak peeks, you kind of saw a little bit of it. The new EMS system is pretty good. It's a lot more in depth.
There's one thing that we need to discuss on the EMS, and this is going to be discussed internally before this goes live. Right now, the way that it's currently set up is that if there's no EMS on, your respawn timer is significantly shorter. Until we get access to that section of code, I cannot change that.
Yeah, the developers of the script are being words I shouldn't say and don't want to sell the source code. So there's so many little things that are just annoying. They're not the greatest. Like there's just like lack of animations, etc. But the system itself is pretty fire. Like the EMS are going to work on individual injuries. They'll have to like give you fluids. They'll have to pack your wounds. They'll have to do surgery on you. There's an ECG, like they can actually monitor your heartbeat and it actually shows on the prop. Like it's pretty cool. But yeah, there are like minor things.
97% of this is perfect and everything that we wanted. It's just those little 3% things that we got to wait on.
And they are little things. It's not crazy.
The respawn timer is going to be annoying for kind of our EU side of things. The only thing that I can ask guys is I would love for 1 or 2 people that are playing in that EU time zone when there's 15 to 20 people on. Would love for somebody to start stepping up and taking over the EMS. It's the respawn timer, like Plasma, we're going to talk about it again, before we dispark. But the respawn timer is going to be a little
Yeah, it's not going to be the greatest because, so there a little bit of background, the reasoning. So there's a difference on how EMS can treat you based on what stage of death you're in. So like now, before it didn't matter, but now like when you're on your side versus when you're on your back, it actually kind of matters. Like when you're on your back, you have no pulse. So they have a different process to treat you, which means we have to give them time on your side. So the time on your side is pretty hefty because of allowing EMS to actually work on you before you flatline. But obviously that kind of screws over people in EU when there's no EMS around. Well, we'll address it when we can.
Yeah, it's going to be the next thing I try and push is the option to change times based on if there's EMS.
I'm going to yell at the dev later today, make him sell me the code. He's being annoying.
So we're working on it. The entire design is kind of it's mapped after NoPixel 4. So we're actually expecting, but I'll talk about that in a second. I'm actually expecting a lot of people to want to be EMS after they see what all they can do. It's pretty fucking cool. Okay. We're
Real
gonna get
quick,
into, yep, go ahead.
I'm here. I'm gonna be here for questions, but I gotta work on moving everybody's items over. So I'll be here, but I'm gonna mute.
Okay, so I'm gonna answer questions. Real quick. So vehicle keys. What I'm gonna say about vehicle keys, they're scaled now based on the class of the vehicle. That how difficult and the items that you need are gonna scale based on the class of the vehicle. And certain vehicle classes are going to just be blacklisted. We're seeing way too many local supercars doing these crimes. Way too many local supercars outside of a store robbery. So some local supercars are just going to be blacklisted for a little while. And then, like I said, it's going to be harder and harder. Some won't even require an item. Some will just be a little mini game like it currently is. And then it'll just be more difficult to get the higher class of local car. So that's kind of how the new keys will work. Not yet, Theo, but that's because I've got to have the new crafting out. Call it Wesker's Milky Ale. Nerf the Sultan. Yeah, for sure. I agree on that one, Harlow, actually. Any adjustments to vehicle speeds? Yeah, it's just we're constantly adjusting the vehicle speeds, right? The vehicle dev team is the smallest team. So, and there's a lot on their plate with adjusting what we currently have versus working on drops. And that's why we're releasing vehicles in drops to allow the vehicle devs to, we need to get these first set of cars fucking moneyed out, like absolute bangers, and then we'll release more cars. The PD cars probably, too. It's just we're trying to do things a little bit slower in terms of the cars because I don't want to charge 300K for a car that's going X amount of speed and then I nerf it and then everyone's like, well, now it's not a 280 car anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we have some plans on how we're gonna balance out the cars. Just know that it'll come a time like we're gonna drop a new catalog push sometime this week, probably the next weekend or throughout the week. But slowly we're gonna keep adding the PDM. We'll get everything sorted. And just to give a little bit of a sneaky peek, if we change a car like drastically to where it affects its value, we will add a refund system. So, if your car gets fucked and you don't like it anymore, you'll be able to sell it back for what you bought it for.
Okay, so moving on to questions now. I've written down all the questions, and I'm going to go through all of them. Question number 1 was imports. Understand is one that we get. I finally have a more... it'll be PDM credit. If you bought a car, if you bought a car that we nerfed and you don't want a new car, it'll be PDM credit. So the imports. I've got a more refined answer. So we have I now have a list for everyone that had an import or one of one. I've got the replacement. I've got the option, right? I know what's coming in. We're going to make a video showing all of those cars that we have coming in. The way this is gonna work is if you owned an import, you will be able to have, based on the import that you own, you will be accredited so much of an import dealership credit, where then you can go to the import dealership and get whatever import that you want based on the credit that you had. If you had a one of one, we have replacements for your one of one. However, if you say, I don't really want that one of one, that's fine. We can convert your one of one into quite a bit of an import dealership credit. Does that make sense? It's like if you had a one of one, you might get enough import dealership credits to get like 2 imports or so. That's how that'll work. Now, our release time for that, including releasing the vehicles, some of the like the specialty roleplay vehicles that we gave people, is going to be during our criminal update. So the previous dev, like we're still kind of on track for that. So the criminal update, when we update all the heist crimes and shit like that, that's when we plan on releasing the import dealership. So I'd have to go double check, but the next 3 to 4 weeks, maybe less. Whatever. Yeah. So towards the end of the month. Thank you, Charles. Lamar, it is 100 now that we have this new dealership, and now that we're nearing an end to the big features updates, and I can actually, our dev team is not just Plasma anymore, but it's Carbon and Bug as well. I'll be able to actually dedicate resources to look into setting up this dealership to have some player ran shops. So that's just a quick answer to that one. Before I just it's didn't have the resources to actually fucking achieve it. But now that we have the right script and a large enough dev team that I can actually do it, so that answers that question. The next question on the forums was new loading screen images when? Mainstorm. We have a whole new loading screen. The testers have seen it. But yeah, we have a whole new loading screen. Actually, fuck. I need to change 2 things, but yeah, we have a whole new loading screen. That's actually what I was asking. Yes, Elliot. Yeah, that's actually what I was asking Lily to give me live quotes for. So they made it to the loading screen. Robberies cooldown. There's not much to mention on the robberies cooldown other than we're looking at redoing the entire system when we do the crime update. Crime update, every heist is changing. Like, we're going to be looking into advancing the roleplay on Fleekas, talking about Polito coming in, all kinds of new crime to do, reworking our existing crime, changing the rule book on existing crime. Like, the crime's going to be made better on the crime update. We're looking at like specialty cooldowns. We're adding in tiered hacks, things like that. Like Carbon and Plasma, like in Bug, this update is something that they had to do, and it's tedious and grueling and meh. The Crim update is shit that they want to do, because then it's going to be fun. We've been bouncing ideas, including a lot of NPC style missions. Like, it's going to be fucking a lot bigger. Yeah, like this update just, it had to happen. They didn't. Danny, that's ongoing. Like, now that this update's out and we actually have made some adjustments to quarter selling, we're gonna keep fucking around with prices. So that's my answer to the robbery school down. Businesses. So Plasma discussed the restaurant. I'll just talk about the food calorie. So the way food and drinks work now is based on a calorie system. So when these business owners, and when they go make a food, like the more that goes into the creation of the food, the higher the calories the food's going to be. So the more food it replenishes. So if you just eat a fucking hamburger with just a beef patty and some buns, it's not going to fill you up as if you eat like a fucking double cheeseburger with bacon. That one will fill you up more. Does that make sense? I will say this, and this I'm looking out. I'm having the entire community. The business owners were explicitly told that there will be no NSFW style food mixed it in, because we're giving them, business owners and managers have the ability to just add in a fucking image. Same thing as the Polaroid. To understand, everything is logged. I know who does what at all times. So if there's any NSFW shit that gets made into the city that compromises our TOS, because remember, Rockstar says no sexually explicit content, there's going to be some massive issues. Okay, so just keep that in mind, please. Gas stations. So Plasma talked about it a little bit. There's going to be different levels of octane for gas that affects how cars fucking work, obviously. The big thing about gas stations are, actually, Plasma, do you want to mention gas real quick? I can mention it. Fuck. The higher the gas, the higher the gas octane, the more expensive. The more expensive the gas, the faster your car goes.
Yeah, I'll say this: like, if you put race gas in your car, don't expect your car to have any longer than 2 minutes of runtime. That's all I'm saying.
It's gonna go real fast though for 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's gonna be a trade-off, right? So obviously, like for the racers, and when you do a heist, you're probably gonna put in like higher octane fuel. It's obviously gonna be expensive, and it's gonna be punishing because you better get away in 30 seconds or good luck.
Yeah. So, with that comes player-owned gas stations. Player-owned gas stations will be enabled on Main Storm. The way this works, if you are a group who already owns a business, we want other groups to have access to buy these gas stations first. I'm not going to name any groups. You obviously know who you are. So, that's how that'll work. I want to be able to spread the love on business ownership. Now, with that being said, part of the player-owned gas stations is you need to be able to supply your gas station with fuel. How you do that is from player-owned pump jacks. So players will have to actually buy pump jacks and start mining up fuel, mixing fuel. It's a whole fucking thing. Like it's a lot to it. It's an intricate science. But those players who have the fuel sell them to the gas station owners. Obviously, we're going to have some gas stations kind of like AI controlled to be a little bit more expensive to make sure that there's always gas available in city. But you guys will, like I said, player-owned gas stations and player-owned pump jacks will be in city on this next, like on Main Storm. Yeah, probably Charles. Normal gas stations only have regular fuel. Player ones get the good stuff. No, it'll all be the same. It'll all be the same amount of fuel. It's just we'll make some of the AI gas stations will be high price. Like you're not gonna want to go there. You're gonna want to go to a player one. I really hope I see a player ran gas station in the South Side. Like come on, it needs to happen. Yeah, it just creates RP between people needing to buy. Will player-owned gas stations have MLOs? Other than just the current ones that they have. It's really Carbon would be able to explain it a little more. Carbon, if you want to come up to the stage, just say yes or no in chat. If you don't want to come up, I get it. It's fine. Yeah. Where are you at? Where is Carbon? There he is.
Yo.
There you go. Floor's yours.
So yeah, there'll be like the default gas stations will be all the Ron gas stations. So like the one in Polito, there's a Ron gas station in Southside. There's one over by across the bridge by PD. The ones that will be player owned will be all the LTDs that have walk-ins. The one on Strawberry, the one down by Great Ocean, not Great Ocean. Yeah, Great Ocean. I don't know what they're gonna do pricing wise for them, but and then you have to get an oil rig. You have to be able to mine the oil, and then you have to distill the oil and then blend the oil. Based off the blend is what you'll get your octane for your gas.
And then
you
you'll
have
sell
to
that
fuel
oil
the
to
tanks
the
and shit.
Yeah, it's I'm probably gonna do some of the. I mean, the pump jack's gonna be expensive, so just bear with us on it. It's gonna be a slow roll. Thank you, Carbon.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the gas stations over on Grove Street? Yeah, I mean, it's you'll see. Like, we'll make a video about it, and you'll kind of see how it works. But you basically set up your gas pumps, if that makes sense. Like in city, like you set up your gas pumps. In terms of having MLOs for them, look, like if you want an MLO, we'll see about getting it approved. But there's a premium cost to any streamable asset. So if you need an MLO for your gas station, we can talk about it. But that's a Patreon TEBX thing. Okay, so we talked about the gas station, we talked about the pump jacks. Later on this month or early next, we're gonna work on this. We'll be releasing player-owned tattoo shops. Our current tattoo system allows for player-ran tattoo shops. That'll all be in-city achieved as well. We're looking at making taco trucks work, hot dog stands, things like that. So that's the next kind of wave of businesses that are coming out. It's something that it's on the horizon now. I'm not gonna give you a definite time. It's just now it's on the horizon. Those are going to be RP locked and achieved with in-city cash. So if you want a business that we think makes sense and yada yada, but it's not something that I'm providing you in city, that's when there becomes that's when the Patreon and TevX are going to get involved, and because it's not a city need, right? So that's when that will get involved. That's going to kind of pivot into tattoos. There was another question about tattoos. Yeah. So for like food trucks, permits, health inspectors, like all these new businesses do tie in pretty well with the DOJ. Yeah, I kind of forced myself in to be a part of this, but yeah, Theo wants to do like a Shark Tank style show to loan people money out for all their businesses. Bring old phones back. What do you mean, Charlie? Bring old phones back? Oh yeah, if you mean go back to the old phone system, no, that'll never happen. Yes to that, Rye. This is just a clothing update. That's simple. What about the beach markets in Vespucci? I think we're actually gonna do a market system. I just don't think it's gonna be that one, Sedona. But yeah, I'm looking at the Arceus building. Like I want to give like an option for you guys to get a way to set up, especially with this business, like this new food thing. Yes, is just the answer to that one. Timber, you can bring your business idea when I release. If it's not something that I'm already releasing, right? Like if it's not already in my plan to release, just keep holding your business idea down. And then when I release the TEBX and things like that, then we'll do that one. Daria, that's going to be through a used car dealership. I'm not going to discuss anything about the used car dealership because the person that I'm working on that with already knows who they are. Bug, they're talking about the ability to let others hear your music. We had to disable that. But the car radio is coming back in soon anyway. Like how y'all were able to install car radio onto the, like through the mechanic, that's going to make a comeback super soon. It hasn't been like fucking, I mean, it's like a new one. That's kind of what I mean, with like backup cameras and shit.
Shing is asking for the T-Rex release date. I'm working on it. I'll try and get it done as soon as possible.
Yeah, right now we use Patreon. It's been working, but then we kind of ran into a wall with Patreon. So we're going to go, eventually we will move away from Patreon back to Tebex. I know it's annoying for those of you who are already set up on Patreon. Don't worry about it. There's no planned release date. Just eventually we'll be back on Tebex because it's going to help us with a lot of things.
People are asking about as well. Ski.
Yeah, we have a bunch of PD clothing that we need to look at. We are well aware that we need more clothing. I've got to get our current clothing lore friendly. I got to debrand it. I have a shit ton of we have a shit ton of PD clothing. We just actually got to look at it.
Yeah. I also bought some milk thing already, but it's just a matter of us getting it in. So.
Yeah, we just got to really figure it out. I know, right? By the way, largest town hall ever, 91 total people. Thank you all for coming. That's amazing. Hit 91 in city and I'll cry. Okay.
You might get a queue, Wesker. Careful.
Don't threaten me with success. Luna, I literally linked earlier. Let me link this again. I'm gonna link this in town hall because I feel like everyone should know that it exists. If you haven't seen Has Been Hotel yet, you're fucking absolutely missing out. Here you go. There's the Has Been Hotel soundtrack. You're all welcome for that masterpiece. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah. It's probably my new favorite musical. Dude, honestly. I haven't seen I just like musicals, but dude, the fucking like he blew his shot like the Cox he was, yeah, it's so good. So fucking good. Okay, moving on. Tattoos. Our current tattoo script allows for fucking custom tattoos. Carbon knows how to do it. We're gonna learn it together. I'm gonna start taking some tattoo submissions. It's gonna be tied in with the gangs. So custom tattoos will be mostly through gangs and a reward as quality roleplay. But I'm gonna also just buy a fuck ton of new tattoos and put them in there for you guys.
I can also grab some Five mods, Wesky. I see them all the time.
Yeah, and we can also probably do like some community challenges as well. Like maybe we'll let people submit a bunch of tattoo ideas, and then as a community we voted on them to get them made in. Yeah. Charlie, you can already do custom jewelry. You just gotta pay for it. It's just a part of custom clothing. Lost chain win. Tier 3 houses. Tier 3 houses are gonna be worked on during the crime update. That's all I can really say on that one. Furia win. That's just, we're gonna be releasing, we're like Plasma said, we're gonna try and release a car drop next week. Just know that car performance is always going to be worked on, guys. Like it's just always going to be worked on. It'll never not, it'll be the most worked on scene thing. Robbie, I'll give you a Benny tattoo, but you gotta get a tattoo of Bob Ross on your left ass cheek. It's the only rule. Okay. More civ jobs. I have exciting news for everybody. Okay. You ready? Are you ready? We have 5 new jobs coming into the city. 3 of them are brand new. 2 of them are reworks of the old ones. The garbage is changing. Wood cutting is changing. Wood cutting is changing in such a dramatic way. It's pretty much brand new. Electric working is coming. Construction site building is coming, and window washing is coming. When I say is coming, like on Mainstorm with this update, they are in. Okay, 5 new legal jobs. You'll be able to get those through the city hall. Now, with that, some legal jobs are coming out. So, furniture moving coming out, and vehicle delivery is coming out, and the weird salvage yard parts delivery that nobody ever did, it's coming out. The vehicle delivery will be rebuilt. The thing is, so that developer, that script is, it's our core. I'm trying to get rid of them. Jack, all jobs I just mentioned, garbage, wood cutting, electric work, construction, window washing, is all group-based jobs. Moxie, I'll explain that here in a second. You're probably the only one that actually did the junkyard delivery. That I'm so impressed and very proud and happy that you did it. But they weren't good jobs. We're taking those out. I'm trying to limit my R-Core scripts to like the bare minimum, which is like the TVs and the pool. Yeah. Not that junkyard. So the junkyard, if you're talking about the junkyard where you actually get the saw and go and chop parts up, that's staying. There was another junkyard where you had to get in a van and go pick up fucking parts scattered on the ground. Mm-hmm. That's coming out. Yeah, the collect parts job.
Wesker, we should talk about the bugs and how we're gonna do it.
I'll tell. I got a list, sir.
All right, man.
Thank you.
Don't forget.
Getting rid of. Okay, so next on the docket for jobs is going to be like a fishing rework, a hunting rework. I'm going to try and bring farming in, truck job. Like there's more jobs I have on my radar. Yeah, these are city hall jobs. These are like, they're going to be like task jobs. So activities and such. But yeah, I mean, if you have 5 jobs on your city hall board, come on now. PvP shooting arena / paintball was a question. The answer is yes. I'm gonna try and get it out next week. I'm gonna try and get paintball out next week. I wanted to do it. Look, I tried to twist Plasma's arm and get it out this week, but Go-kart fix when? I think, didn't we push the a new go-kart for this?
Yeah, it sucks though. Well, at some point we could put in a better one. Right now, it's just like you rent a car and it puts you in the track, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, we'll get a better one. Yeah, okay, yeah, we'll get a better one. Yeah, so paintball next week is the goal. Yeah, it's more like airsoft. I know, Bug, shut up. It's more like airsoft.
I wouldn't take that if I were you.
What, Bug or me telling Bug?
Bug.
Oh, well. Yeah, right. Okay. Getting rid of repair benches. It's a larger answer. I've said it like almost every town hall. We can all agree that the WYLDFIRE mechanic system is dog shit, terrible, the worst. Any fucking ESX server city, Trap RP city has a better system than us.
Hell yeah, we should all play some Trap RP.
Yeah, go have fun. So it is not of our quality. I'll talk nothing but hate and shit about it. It's horrible. So we're making our own. We've talked about that last town hall. I'm not going to go too in depth with it. But the one thing I'm going to mention, because we have to make our own, there's going to be our last little section, hopefully our last little section wipe. We're going to have to wipe the car parts, the performance parts, and the cosmetics when we make our own. Have to, no chance, whatever. Because of that, we've already kind of like, you guys already know it's dumb cheap to upgrade a car to max. Like, you already know that. It should be way more than 25 fucking grand to upgrade a car to max. 25K is nothing once you're established. I'm gonna make it even cheaper. So I'm cutting upgrade prices in half again. It's gonna be around 10 to 12 grand to upgrade a car in full. So understand that when that happens, when I wipe these car parts, I am not reimbursing these car parts. The economy is already fucking destroyed on them. It does not make sense whatsoever. I'm not saying fuck mechanics. Don't worry. We'll get you guys taken care of. There is no crafting portion of it whatsoever. So it's got to be wiped when we do that. And so upgrade it at your own risk. No, because once we get the system, you guys are going to end up becoming the richest people in city, like all mechanics do it ever. Like, let's be real. And right now, you're getting 30% for pressing a couple buttons. I'm going to be honest. Like, you're getting a lot of money for pressing a couple of buttons.
Real quick, hey, all the staff in here, I'm about to throw up the main server, so I'm gonna need a few of you guys and hop in Dev Lounge with Carbon in a minute.
There you go. So Plasma, let's just up the commission a little bit on that 10K. Cause on a 25K fucking ticket, y'all made about 5K, I think.
Theo, yep, more work. Get to work, man.
Plasma, do a 50% commission rate to the mechanics.
Carbon, you do it.
Yeah, one of my devs do a 50% commission rate on the mechanics. That'll help. But no, the economy behind mechanics is just it's still, dude. You're still getting 4K for fucking little to no work right now.
Just leave it, bro.
Yeah, you're fine. Like look, like you're still getting 4K. So, but when we fix the system, you're gonna get a lot of money anyway. So just bear with us.
Or else.
How can a civilian fly a plane or a helicopter? Timber, we're working on that for planes. I'm not sure helicopters are going to be a thing, but we are working on that for planes. Okay, new craftable weapons. Plasma, real quick, this is your last thing, then you actually can go. Do you want to talk about weapons real quick?
Yeah, let me pull up the file so I don't forget what I did. Hold on. Okay, let's see. Okay, add-on weapons. All right, so the civilian pistol is being swapped out, so that is now a P226. Let's see. The cops are getting a FN502 for the new service pistol, and then class 3s are coming, so M4A1. Crim.
That's the cop gun, right? The cop gun.
M4 is the cop gun. Yeah.
And then what are the criminals getting?
Criminals are getting an AK-47. You're getting a new M1911. So yep, that's new. And then the MAC-10 is still here, just updated. So now, also everything I just named has attachments. So attachments are making their way in as well. Now, don't go around looking for how to do it because it's not in yet. Attachments are not in yet. I repeat, they are not in yet. So don't ask and don't look for it. And yeah.
Also, let me say something on that.
They will come later on.
Let me say something on that AK-47. AK-47s are to a blueprint. The blueprint is from an admin, meaning the blueprints will be distributed based on high quality roleplay. So
I just remembered something. This is important, actually. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
So y'all are gonna be mad. Sorry, that's all I can say. I forgot to create the trader to swap your old guns to a new gun. Now I will do it live. Okay, so you may not be able to shoot another person for like the first hour or two. Just give me some time. I'll add that in live. I kind of forgot about that. That's my bad.
Don't forget the ammo trader. So
yeah,
ammo, by the way, is being condensed. I'll talk about that here in a second. So real quick, the AK. If you've been a shitter and you've been a dick to cops and your role play's been fucking questionable, you're probably not going to RP qualified to get a blueprint for AK-47. If you've been providing good RP to the cops and you've been providing good RP in general, you'll probably be able to qualify to get a blueprint for an AK-47. So that's kind of the best way I can describe it. If you're sitting there questioning yourself, man, am I one of the shitters he's talking about? Fucking probably. I'm being honest with you. If you're sitting there questioning, like, oh, I'll for sure be able to get a blueprint, then probably yes. That's just how it is. We're doing gun plugs until we get a better system going. There's nothing to prevent giving and selling of their AK. I can't prevent it. So, but just know that if you've already been a shitter and then you're a shitter with an AK, whatever punishment you would have gotten for being a shitter is probably going to get escalated.
It's pretty much, if you guys have been in a server before where the gun orders were controlled by admins, it's a little similar to that, except, you know, people we trust to craft AKs and stuff like that.
Yeah, like I said, if you achieve an AK with an RP, whether you steal it, buy it, or whatever, I'm not controlling that. It is what it is. However, you need to be under, like, we're going to kind of set a rule for the AKs. If you go off and do, you know, cunty shit, and it's with an AK, it's probably going to be a little bit heavier of a penalty levied. No, AKs are not only going to gangs. They'll, like I said, they'll be RP'd out. When I say, like, 95% of wildfires in a gang anyway right now anyway, so it kind of is what it is. But yeah, it'll definitely be rewarded upon roleplay. Aaron, what seems like controlled RP? Yeah, well, that's anything. AK, Stacey, yeah, that's anything. What do you mean? But that's what I'm saying. I'm not locking AKs to gangs. No gun, nothing is locked to gangs other than gang sprays. However, an AK-47 is going to be an illegal weapon. Like, so if you're a legal civ, you probably don't want an AK. Yeah, Hyde's right. Like, we're all a community here, you know? Like, our Discord is fucking active in terms of chatters, right? So if you give your AK to somebody who you know is an asshole to everybody, you're just kind of a part of the problem. So, but I'm not going to control that. I'm really not going to control that. It's up to you. But I'm just going to let you know they're going to be controlled from admins.
Okay, real quick. Everybody that does gun shit on the server, I'm gonna name all the old guns. Okay, please, like, if I forget one, let me know, or else it's never coming back. So I'm gonna double check it like 8 times, but I want everybody else to double check me too, just to make sure I don't wipe anything. So here we go. We got the pistol, so the Walther P99, the ceramic pistol, the Glock 17, the Browning, the Diamondback, the Ruger SP45, also known as the 1911, the Colt, whatever you want to call it, the PD USP45, the PD MP5, the MAC-10, the SVT, the auto sniper. That should be it, I think. Sawed off. Those are fine. Those are native guns, so those will move over. Precision rifle, I'm not worried about, but it's also native, so I don't care. Double barrel is native. Pump shotgun is native. Okay, we should be good. Hunting rifle is also native. That's fine.
Do you know that Tommy gun's a light machine gun? It's kind of how it's defined. Okay, so with the guns comes an ammo rework. A trader's gonna be in.
Talk about that.
Yeah, so part of the reason why we didn't want to add new guns is because adding in the ammo was terrible. Whoever came up with that idea needs to be shot. It's me. Feel free to shoot me. So we're reworking the ammo to simplify the ammo. No more mag loaders. No more none of that shit. Right. Yeah, the ammo's great if you're a survival city. The ammo is going to get refined down significantly. Okay. There's only like 5 or 6 total ammo items to craft. Materials will kind of reflect that. Real quick,
that's actually a good point.
I'm sorry. If you put 400 bullets in your gun, that's not a Wesker problem. Well, however many. I'm
pretty sure it wipes it. I honestly don't know, but I mean, unfortunately, it just kind of is what it is. When you change an entire inventory, it's kind of unfortunate.
It's also the ammo too. Also, the thing is, they're so much significantly easier to get ammo now. Like, ammo's easier to craft. Like, the whole economy about it is easier. There's also going to be an ammo buyback to sell all of your mags. Ammo will stack now. Plasma can explain ammo.
Okay. So, ammo is very, very, very simple now. Okay. It's literally just the bullet. There's no magazines. There's no empty magazines. There's no any of that shit. When you're crafting, you're gonna craft the bullet directly. So if you have 1,000 bullets in your inventory, you have 1,000 rounds available to be loaded into your firearms. Now, there's no reserve in a singular gun, so you can only load the clip in your gun. So if there's nothing on the gun and you hit R to reload, you're going to get whatever the maximum magazine size for that gun is. Then it's going to take that amount from the bullets in your pocket. So in very simple terms, 1 bullet item equals 1 shot. And you have to reload manually. So when you press
R, if you got 12 bullets in your pocket and you load your pistol, it's going to load 12 in, right?
12 bullets. Yep, 1 for 1.
There you go. So, and they'll all stack. Like, they're not going to be unique. There'll be obviously a little bit of weight to them. I don't think we're actually going to let anybody carry around 1,000 fucking rounds. Depends on the weight it is. I don't actually know what the weight is right now. But yeah, that's how ammo works. Simplified. Crafting's a lot easier. Crafting's quicker. Mats are less stackable. The whole 9 yards. Okay. Waking up at an owned house, that's something that we're just gonna work on, if I'm being honest with you. You don't need to do, like, we're gonna make a trader so you can exchange your ammo. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not wiping anybody's ammo. Sorry, maybe that was confusing. If you've already loaded the ammo into the gun, I don't actually know if it's getting wiped. We'll just find out. We didn't actually think about that.
It's probably gonna get wiped.
More than likely
gonna get wiped. 99% chance it's gonna get wiped. So don't expect it to stay.
Now, if you just have ammo, like if you just crafted it and you've got a bunch of ammo, chilling in your storage, then you'll be able to swap that out. No, I'm not. There's no way I can There's no way I can reimburse ammo on loaded guns. You know, back like when we had QB inventory, and we would have people like their gun would poof, and they'd say, "Oh, I had 80 rounds loaded in my shotgun." That's I'm sorry, I can't take that as a me problem. They will not be used or needed. There will be a buyback for casings, molds. Like I said, it's literally gunpowder, plastic, steel, brass equals ammo. That's it. You go there, and you craft ammo.
Those traders will not exist on restart, so just keep that in mind. I'm gonna try to do them live. If not, they'll be by next restart. But again, I'm gonna try to do them live, so just be patient. I'll put them in fucking Legion Square. It'll be like very.
We've already said last week we did daily reminders. Ammo boxes that you know of, they're going away. So like any backpack, lunchbox, burger shot bags, ammo boxes, those are all getting wiped. We've made several announcements to make sure you get all your stuff out of those containers. We made an announcement last week, and I think we made like 3 over this week on getting, and we made one last night.
Also, sorry again, but pushing it back an hour. So 55 minutes, the server will come up. 1 more hour.
Okay. Someone was asking about who's in charge of Animal RP. We asked that person to make a ticket. We'll discuss, but we also will discuss internally who's going to take over the Animal RP. Tony, in regards to your post, I agree. We're not going to be doing large development timelines anymore because it just puts too much pressure on our dev team to hit demands when we shouldn't be trying to hit a demand. We should just be trying to put a quality product out. It's kind of our goal. We are almost done with like getting WYLDFIRE to a state where we can say we don't need to do shit updates like this anymore, right? We've got 2 massive content updates coming out with the crime update and the mechanic update. Once that's it, then now it's just like cool stuff that we want to do, replacing textures around the city, adding cool shit, small quality of life. We're not going to need to say, hey, we're, doing this to cars or this or this or this. Like we're almost at a point that we're kind of finished with it, right? You guys have been fucking, staying with us for so long. It is incredible. Like what we've been able to build and achieve has been fucking fantastic. It's been a great journey. I know that we definitely have pissed some people off. I'm sorry. We try to alleviate as much as we can. Like when we did the garage wipe, we tried to reimburse as much and as best way as we can, but we're almost there, like once we can get over this through this mechanic update and we can say that the mechanic is finally at a state where we're happy with it, it's going to be so much fucking better for us,
Yo, real quick, is there any more dev questions?
No, you're good. You can take everybody.
All right, I'm leaving the call. Later, people.
Later. Do we have any other questions for me? Because that was the last bit of the questions. Oh, crafting. Here, I'll talk to you guys about crafting real quick. Crafting is getting a full rebuild. Nothing is gonna get wiped necessarily. It's just gonna change in such a way that it's not super gonna matter. So the way the crafting, it's not only crafting, it's crafting materials. I think that our current crafting system is really nice if you're a survival server, but I want to simplify it a little bit and kind of streamline the process. So at some point in time, I have no timeline for this, but this is kind of what's on my radar. This is kind of what I've been discussing a little bit. Tyler, that what you're referring to is about to be null and void when I say what I need to say. The recycling center is going to go away eventually. Vouchers are going to go away eventually. And that's because the way recycling is going to work is going to be a lot more intuitive and interactive with other things. You're going to be able to grind still. You're going to be able to grind. Loon, I promise you're going to be able to grind. It's just we have an idea to do a better recycling system. Okay? Better recycling system. And you're no longer going to need to do glass bottles and rubber hoses and all the shit like that. It's just going to be the raw materials. Look, a lot of honest God, a lot of people have said that. And if that's the case, I may leave it in just for the people who do enjoy it. Because even when I used to play a lot, I used to fucking just sit down and watch Netflix and fucking grind that shit out. But we're going to take the raw materials and sprinkle it into like trash and things like that, right? But I believe so. Cherry, I believe that's part of the, it was a limitation due to the third eye system. So yeah, I mean, like, this is kind of just what's on my radar. I'm not saying this is how it's happening, right? I know that the problem with the raw materials right now, which is like the rubber hoses, the glass bottles and things like that, it makes it very difficult to kind of set up the material economy in such a way. Because right now, like, dude, I'm not gonna lie, like, our current material economy is set up to be a 20-player server. We have never changed it. Like, we've never actually changed the way shit works. So I don't know. If you guys as a whole, as a community, if y'all would rather, get rubber hoses and make those into rubber, if you want to keep that extra step, I'll keep that extra step. Like, my whole goal in life is to listen to you guys. So if y'all want that extra step, I'll keep it. If you'd rather just find raw plastic and shit like that, then you'll just find raw plastic. So I think, well, labor is going away. So let me explain more. Recipes that are locked behind proficiency requirements are going away. Proficiency is going to be, the better you are at a skill is going to be, you're going to be able to, like, yeah, have less mats to craft things, craft it faster, shit like that. A lot of the weapon crafting the plan is to work it into blueprints. And blueprints are going to be, some guns will only require one blueprint and you can craft it infinitely. Some guns will be a one-time use blueprint. Like, that's kind of the way I'm looking at crafting. I haven't even started crafting. This is just kind of me theory crafting the entire idea and schematic of it. If you guys like the extra step, I like it. Yeah, I'm not replacing this. I'm not replacing the skills. I'm not wiping it. It's going to carry over. Yes, blueprints from shit like that. Yes, Adaria, correct. Bobcat heists. We have an aircraft carrier heist that we're working on. Oil rig heist that we're working on. Union that we're working, like, yeah. Oh, I told you, dude. The fucking the crime update's gonna be fucking W, bro. Danny, we are continuously monitoring that. So one of the big problems is that the cooldowns we're not resetting. We need to fix that first. And then we're going to keep adjusting not necessarily the jerk sale prices, but what it takes to make them. So yes, we are. I promise it's something that the admins are actively looking at, and it's something that we are going to keep changing. Yeah, we just got to add them into the script. Bugs. This is going to be the last thing I have to say, but I'll keep answering your guys' questions for a moment. Okay. As much as we try to run this as a professional grade business as we can, at the end of the day, Plasma has a lot going on. He's still in school. We just brought Carbon on. Bug had his vacation. For those who are close to me, I've got a fuck ton going on. I've got a wedding to plan. I've got Wildfire. We just had to amputate my cat's fucking leg. So I'm running at max capacity right now myself. And then the Christmas, Christmas time, all that shit kind of fucked us as well. So we have pretty much gotten away from our back-end project management system. The testers, you've seen the system that we've used, and it's not optimal. So I'm going to just be full transparent with you guys. Hang on a second. Let me. Okay. Full transparency with y'all. We have not actually looked at codex bugs in quite some time. We have not had the resource capacity to look at them. Okay. We have right now 197 open bug reports. That's how many we have. Now, I cannot sit there and tell all three of my devs to stop everything that they're doing and go through 197 bug reports. So here's what we're going to do. We have realized that probably 75% of these bugs are going to fix themselves with the new update coming this evening. The new inventory fixes a lot of them, right? So what I'm going to do is delete them all. Deleting every fucking bug, clearing out the channels, zeroing this out. We're going to start on a fresh, clean plate. We have a brand new back-end inventory. Everything is so new in how it works that there's no point in going, like EMS healing not working. That's one of my bugs. I have a whole new EMS script. There's probably 25 bugs in here for the laptop issues. I have a whole new laptop coming out. Furniture, like it's so much shit's going to be worked on, right? So I'm deleting them all. So if you've made a bug up until this point, please, and I know this is kind of weird, but if you get into City and you experience the bug, make a new report for it, because we're getting back to 0. Okay. And then we'll dedicate a week going through suggestions as well. But yeah,
I always go through the suggestions.
I mean, like actual
no, from
the devs.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
to actually get them implemented. Fluffy, what do you mean when you just say the word hospital? I don't know what that means. So yeah. So anyways, reminder. It's Pillbox. That's the new hospital. Oh, yeah. Davis is coming out. Pillbox is going in. Yeah. I know Hugh. I talked to Kara about it. It's frustrating. I know, but it was your new EMS system was already. It was set up for Pillbox out the fucking gate. Yeah, you know what's funny? The city's never actually had Pillbox. Hazel, what do you mean phone photos? Yeah, Lucy, can you go ahead and just clear the bug Discord channel?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if we need to just delete it, make a new webhook, however you want to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, just delete it. We'll set up new bug reports for a week, and then I put it in Zona. No, never. Come on. Okay, does anyone else have any questions, comments, concerns? The photos either never load or didn't save. Hazel, I think that might be a you problem that we might need to figure out. Several people. Okay. When I delete the deck, I'll make a ping on the new when we can start accepting bugs again. Just throw a bug report in there. potential ETA on PD clothing. I don't have one. If I'm going to be real with you, there's clothing in a development server that we can look at.
The channel.
You got a new channel for it, Lizzie? We probably just need to delete the bug report channel.
Yeah.
Look, because I'm deleting the deck. Let me archive. Slash bug and delete the channel. Edit. Edit. Select channel. Is it still called bug reports? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Date. Okay. We have a new bug report. Yeah, for the crime update, Robbie. Quick answer to that one. And hey, so my closing statement on this town hall. Bear with us for this update, okay? You know, these carbon and plasma, they're in bug. I think they're fantastic fucking devs, but at the end of the day, they're not a team of 15 people who are paid $65K a year, right? So bear with us, go easy on it with this. We've always done everything we can to make transitions like these and massive updates like these as painless as possible on everybody. You know, bear with our admins. Let us get to you. Don't freak out on shit. Just, you know, yeah, the testing team and the admins are fucking worked their asses off, right? But there's still gonna be fucking bugs, right? So just bear with us, and we'll make sure that this update's as fucking awesome as possible. So okay, adjourned. We'll see y'all in half an hour.